Hi. So here today we are gonna learn about assignment problem. If I have to tell you, assignment problem is very much similar to transportation, right? The only difference that you see between assignment problems and transportation problems are as such that in transportation, what you were trying to do, we had some sources S1, S2, S3, and we had some destination D1, D2, D3. We know that from S1 to S2 we have some cost, S1 to D2 we have some cost if you have to transport something. Then what we used to do, we used to for say S1 produces 100 units, we say that the optimal solution was 60 units from S1 to D1 and 40 units from S1 to D2. We used to do this way. But in case of assignment, what happens, instead of sources and destination, you have something like let's say jobs. So there are four jobs, J1, J2, J3, J4, and that has to be completed in certain machines, maybe M1, M2, M3, and M4. Okay, so when number of jobs, that is 4 here, are equal to number of machines, we call it as a balanced assignment problem. But in case the number of jobs is J5 and we have only 4 machines, that is unbalanced. I think all of us know this. So in those kind of cases, we know that in case of unbalanced transportation problem, we used to add a dummy source or a dummy destination, so that the total number of quantity from source and the total number of quantity from the destination, they should match, the demand and supply should match, right? But in case of assignment, what do? We just start another. Here we have four jobs, sorry, five jobs, and then four machines. So what do? Like we just add another machine. So because this can't be done partially, right? One job has to be done in one machine, right? So in that case, you have to assign, in assignment problem, we assign one job to one machine only. So that's why, because there are five jobs, we add a dummy machine, and the cost of operation will be given for each machine. And we just try to see how we can minimize the cost. So that is one problem. And in certain cases, you might have to, maximize the profit or something like that. So there are two varieties. I'll tell you the minimization. The question, I have taken this question from the past year question paper. This is a minimization question, and I'll also tell you how to do the maximization one. So yeah, let's just give me a minute. Okay, so if I have to read the question, so what it says, the sports committee is trying to do a relay race, and I'll just explain you the table. So they have to, every swimmer has to do 100 meters of stroke, and the aim is that Anmol can do either free, breast, fly, or back. The same goes for Ravi and other people. So we have to find, assign these people to one of those strokes, so that the teams minimum time, teams total time taken to complete all the four strokes is minimum. Okay, so maybe I can tell that Amol will do the breaststroke, and Ravi will do the free stroke, and Venkatesh might do the backstroke, and Anand will do the fly stroke. So this is one possible option that I am telling, but I don't know. I have to find the at the end of it. What I have to do, I have to find the total time taken by the whole team. If Amol is doing the breaststroke, Ravi is doing the free stroke, and this guy is doing fly, and this one is doing the backstroke. So that I have to find out what is the minimum way. What's the minimum total time that the whole team will take. So the first thing, uh, okay, the first thing that you have to do is you have to write the matrix as it is. I have just copied these values. So all these values that you see here, I just copied this, and I have written it as A equal to this, the whole matrix. And the next thing that you do in this kind of assignment problem is you use an algorithm known as Hungarian method. Okay, so the first thing you do, you just you do a row operation. Here choose, in this row try to find out whichever is the lowest value. As I can see, the lowest value is 51. So I'll have to subtract 51 from all the elements. And similarly, you do for row 2. Find the lowest value, that is 52, and sorry, 51 is the lowest here also, and then subtract this from the whole row, and continue this for all other rows. So we'll go ahead with that, and I'll write it as a equal to, so after subtracting 51 from all these rows, I'll left with 3 3 5 0 2 and 0. Again, in this row I have to subtract this by 51 because 51 is the lowest number. So 0 6 1 1. Here 50 is the lowest number, so 0 3 4 and 6. Again 53 is the lowest number, so 56 minus 53 is 3 1 2 and 0. Okay, so I have done the row operation. Okay, this is row operation, and again I have to repeat that the same thing in a and again I have to, once this is done, then next you have to go for the column operation. Okay, and what I have to do now, find out the lowest values in each column. So in this column, in this particular column, the lowest value is 0. So if I have to subtract each value by 0, then the answer is not going to change. But here if you see, the lowest value is 1. So when I subtract all the values by 1, then I'll be left with 4 5 2 and 0, and you have to continue that for other columns as well. So the final table will be something like 3 0 0 3, because 0 is the lowest value here, and subtracting 0 doesn't change the values. Also here this is the lowest value, so after subtracting we'll be left with 4 5 2 and 0, and here 0 1 4 2 2 1 6 and 0. So we have completed the row operation and the column operation. So the next thing is, so once you have completed this, then you have to assign. So in the assignment operation, you start with the first row. So in this row you assign whichever value is the lowest, because we are trying to minimize the total time, right? This is a minimization problem. So you choose the value which is the lowest. I mean, in each row, the lowest value will be 0. So you choose this value, just circle this. Once I choose, because there is only one 0, so there is no confusion, I have to choose this value. In the next row, so this is the 0, there is only one 0, so I have to choose this. Once I choose this, in each row, so this is one, so here this is basically nothing but the free kick row, right? So in this row we can't assign two people to one kind of stroke, right? So this will be automatically cut down, because once we assign, because the second row belongs to Ravi, once we assign Ravi to free stroke, other people can't be assigned this, so we'll cut down other zeros. And then we come to third row. So in third row we see that the only 0 that we had is now strike down. We can't select other rows, so we leave it as it is. And then we come to the fourth row. In the fourth row we see that there are two zeros, so we don't know where we have to assign. So there's a confusion, so we'll leave it now. Then once this is over, then you go column wise, start from the first column itself. Okay, here this is already assigned, so we don't have to do anything. Then we come to the second column here. So in this we see that there's only 1 0 here, so we assign it to Anand. So Anand was like the fourth row belonged to Anand, so we assign the second stroke to Anand. So we circle this row, and once we do this, the other 0 automatically get crossed out. And then we come to the third row. This is already assigned, and then we come to, sorry, the third column is already assigned. Then we come to the fourth column, and the fourth column doesn't have any zeros left. So we are done with the assignment. But then we see only three values are assigned. I mean, like, three rows are assigned. This row is empty. This row doesn't have any assignment. So then what do we do? So if this would have been assigned, then our problem would have been complete. Or the final problem would have been complete. That we had four people and then four kind of strokes, and we have assigned one kind of stroke to each one of them. But that's not the case here. So we have to then continue this problem. The next thing that we do in this kind of cases is, first select the row which is not, like, just tick the row which is not assigned any value. So the third row here has not been assigned, so we ticked it. And within this row, try to find out the column where there is an the unassigned zero is there. Okay, so this is the row, right? So this is the column. Basically, you take this column. So in this, what do you see? That there is one zero here which is not assigned. So that's why I ticked this particular column. And again, what do you do? Within this column, check wherever there is a zero which is assigned. So this is a zero which is assigned, so I need to take this row as well. Okay, so I did this. So now I have two rows which are ticked, these two, and I have one column which is ticked. So once I like once I do this, what I need to do, I need to so now what I need to do, so I need to cross few rows and few columns. तो logic क्या है इसमें? The rule says this, that you have to cross the, one second, yeah, so you have to cross the column which is already ticked, so this one, and then you have to cross the rows which are not ticked. So this is one row which is not ticked, and this is one row which is not ticked. So now I have this, I have this six. So now I have these six values which are left. So what I need to do, I need to find the value which is the lowest in this six. So that is basically this one, or any one you can pick, not an issue. So then in the next matrix, what you do, so you write a equal to, so this value, yeah. So so the logic is, from all these values, you will subtract one, and in the intersection point, this is one intersection and this is another intersection, you add add the smallest value. So when I write the new matrix, so this will be 3 plus 1, that is 4. So I'll write it as 4, and the other values will remain as it is, 0, 0, and this will be again 3 plus 1, that is 4, and these values will remain as it is, 4402. And in the box I told you, the out of all the remaining values, from each values you have to like, from all these values you have to subtract one, right? Because that's the smallest value here, one is the smallest element. So this will be 4 0 0 1 3 and 5, and these values will remain as it is, 0 2 and 0. Okay, a matrix is complete. So once you have done this, then again you start the assignment, and you start with each and every row. Okay, so we start with the first row, and then we assign the value here, and then once I do that, all these values will be crossed out in the same row and same column. If you see any zero, you cross it out. Then come to the second row. So second row, there are two values, there are two zeros, right? Name this one and this one, we don't know which one to assign, so we'll leave it for now. Then we come to the third row. In third row there is only one zero, so you assign it, and once you assign, this value will be, this one will be crossed out. Then you come to the fourth row. In fourth row there is two zeros, so we don't know which one to assign, so we'll leave it. So once the row assignments are over, then go to the column assignment. In column assignment, first column is already assigned. Go to the second one, only one zero left here. Assign it. Once you assign it, this will be crossed out. Come to the third, this is already assigned. Come to the fourth, so this is not assigned, so we assign it now. So now we see if I have to match it to the original matrix that we had. So what are I doing now? So if you see that we are I'll just go back to this. uh, so these are the values that you are selecting, or these are the combination of strokes in persons. So first person was Anmol, the second was Ravi, third was Venkatesh, and fourth was Anand. And this was free stroke, breaststroke, fly, and back. So we are telling the sports com that you go ahead with these combinations. Okay, Anmol should go for fly kick, and Ravi should go for back kick, and Venkatesh should go for the free kick, and Anand should go for breast kick. So when everyone does that, so the question was asked ki what is the minimum time? So we have to minimize the time, which we did now. So what is the minimum time the team will take? So the next final answer, uh, the minimum time will be sum of the values, some of the values that are there originally. I mean this 51 and 52, 50 and 54. So this is the time, right, that each person is taking to complete that particular tick. So 51 plus 52, 50 plus 54. So there's many seconds. So it's the minimum time that will take, and this is the final answer. I hope this is clear. uh, so what we did was basically your minimization problem. In case of maximization, okay, there was already a solved example, so I'll just go back to that and I'll tell you the logic is pretty much similar like what you do in minimization. There is just a slight difference. Okay, so this is a profit maximization case. They have given you a value. So in that case, what do you do? So here I have to, originally what we are doing, we are trying to like find the lowest values in each row, and then we are trying to assign the whole objective was you need to find the time which is the lowest. But here these are basically profits, right? So you have to find the values which are the maximum. So for example, in this row I have to find a value which is the maximum, that is 40. So in order to do this, what do? We first convert it into a minimization problem. So my objective is to select the maximum value. So what do? I just select the maximum value within this whole matrix. So here the maximum value is 62. So I have selected 62, and the next thing is I'm subtracting, from like all these values. I'm subtracting them from 62 and writing the values here. So 62 minus 30 is 32. 62 minus 40 is 22. And similarly, you complete all the table. Okay. So this is the matrix that I have completed. And once this is done, the next step is similar. Like how do you do a row operation and then the column operation. So this is basically nothing but a minimization problem now. So in this problem, if you see, the objective has changed now, and we have to select the minimum values. Okay, so you complete that, and then you come to the point, and then you select the final values, and then for the last step is you compare, like here, see here, if you see that I have, I have circled these values, right? So I go back to the original question, and then I see, in place of all these assignments, what are the profits that were written. I then again I come back and I note all those profits, and then I sum it up to get the final answer. So this is how we do a maximization problem. And there was one more thing that I was telling you. So that is nothing but in case of a unbalanced problem. So if one problem is unbalanced, so what do? You just write another. For example, here there are five. There's another person named KK, and there are four kind of kicks. So you just add another. You just add another stroke. This is a dummy stroke D1, and you write it as 0, 0. Okay. So that's how you can just proceed with the case where there are sorry yeah, where there are unbalanced assignment problems. I hope it is clear. If nothing is clear, then you can just reach out to me personally also.